Today, in today's video, I'm going to share with you something I've learned that here's what I know. Most people, most master sales consultants do about the same things. Actually, they have discovered the principles that drive excellence and performance, right? It's like they all know, they've all crossed the Rockies, and they all know the best path through the Rockies to the other side, right? Now, here's the problem. They don't document their path. They walk it every day. They know how to do that. And the thing is that for the rest of us to follow them, we need a map, right? And of course, that's what Automotive Sales Coach has been about, is about mapping, giving you a Google map, if you will, to help you perform like the best of the best every day. And so today we're really going to look at that map. And this is like a huge, like I said, we have to zoom out. We've got the wide angle lens and we have to close. We're going to really zoom out and say, what are the best of the best do over and over? And I actually, studying the best of the best, I've come up with 7 things I've noticed that they all have in common, right? And how did I discover this? So, I started selling when I was 21. Of course, you guys know my story. Started 23 running a mid-sized dealership when my buy-in fell out, and I went to work for half a car company, and I started training 4 dealers across the country on the lease program. I got to spend a lot of time in dealerships from coast to coast, right? 2 or 3 dealerships a week. It was fantastic. And so I got to see the good, the bad, and the ugly, didn't I? And I spent a lot of time with the best of the best, the dealers and the managers and the GMs and the GSMs and the consultants. I spent an awful lot of time studying and watching what they did. And here's what I've discovered over the years. I'm going to give you in today's video the 7 keys that master salespeople have in common. And why should you care about that? I'll tell you why you should care about that. If you want to be excellent, just do what excellent people do. Am I right? And so I guess I discovered this between 7th and 8th grade. My dad got me Arnold Schwarzenegger's book, The Encyclopedia of Bodybuilding. I'm not sure what it's called then, but that's what it is now. And I was a skinny little kid and wanted muscles. And so Arnold said, hey, you want muscles? This is what you do. And guess what I learned? This is what we call success modeling. I didn't know that when I was in 7th grade, but when I went to 8th grade, I looked like a different kid, had grown these muscles, all because Arnold showed me how. So what I learned was this: if you want something, find somebody who's got it and find out how they got it. So if you want to be a master salesman, why don't we start by finding out, what did they do? What are they doing every day to be a master, to live like a master, and live in that excellence with a master sales consultant or master sales professional would live in, right? So today's video, I'm going to give you the overview to those 7 keys. And you might want to take some notes, because I'm going to ask you to do some things, a challenge afterwards, that's going to help you develop yourself in these 7 areas. All right, let me introduce you to 7 keys, 7 common keys of master sales consultants. Now, when I was about 30 years old, I traveled the country and trained dealerships all over the country. It gave me a great opportunity to sit with the best of the best, coast to coast. And guess what I found? I found out that the best of the best all had things in common. And I made this list of 7 things. So if you want to be the best of the best, I would say pursue this list. Right now, the first thing that they had in common is they developed and maintained the right thinking and habits. These people were powerhouses of attitudes and powerhouses of diligence and discipline. They thought right and they did right daily. So you need to develop and maintain the right thinking and action. That's number 1. Number 2, they're masters of the sales principles, the things that drive buying and selling, and the sales process. They mastered it. They know the steps, they know how to complete each of the steps, and they complete them with excellence. They not only have the craft down, but they've turned the craft into an art. Okay, the third thing that I found that all master sales consultants shared was they've mastered the key selling skills. Right now, I'll give you a few of them. Active listening. By the way, it's the #1 selling skill. You think talking would be?
but listening is the number one selling skill. Asking good questions, overcoming objections, and of course, building professional relationships and rapport. Master sales consultants master their selling skills. The fourth thing that master sales consultants had to have, they were dealership ambassadors. What do I mean? When they came to work, they were a benefit to the dealership. It wasn't uncommon to see these salespeople do a walk through the dealership once a week, some of them daily, talking to the service guys, the cleanup guys, the body shop. They drove positive attitudes in a dealership and showed appreciation for the whole team, not just the sales team, the whole team. They did what they could to contribute to the team effort, right? Now, the fifth thing that we saw when we went around, the top sales consultants, the master sales consultants, were product experts. They were, in fact, many salespeople would go to them and ask them questions, right? They're product experts. And I'm telling you something, we're going to get into that in a little bit. Your product is super important. Knowing your product and be able to sell its advantages is what make you a master consultant, right? Now, the sixth thing is, and this is what really separates most salespeople from master sales consultants, is they followed up. That's right, they followed up. It sounds simple, but when you hit the floor, you're gonna notice that most salespeople do a poor job with follow-up. Following up with unsold customers and following up with sold customers. Master sales consultants took responsibility for their own business, the business within a business, and they followed up with every opportunity they had. And when they moved the buyer to a customer and they earned that customer, they kept that customer through follow-up. And number seven, and this might sound like a broken record, but number seven, and this is what they all had in common, all of them took personal responsibility for their continued education, their development, their wherewithal, and their excellence. All of them. It's funny, I'd walk through the dealerships and I'd go sit, I was waiting for some of the top salesmen. I'd sit in their office and guess what I always saw? Books on selling, books on relationships, books on closing, Selling Power magazine. They were in their career, in their chosen field, and they were pursuing. These are the best of the best, right? It seems to me, we heard about Michael Jordan and Walter Payton, being from Chicago, they're kind of heroes of mine, and they're always talking about they always worked harder than everyone else. Isn't it amazing that the best of the best are still pursuing to become better? And that's what master sales consultants have in common, right? Listen, if it was me and I started a new career, I would go ahead and I would mirror excellence. I would chase after what the best of the best are doing, and now you have the list. What are you going to do with it?
Okay, what'd you think of these 7 key areas? Now, let me ask you something. Honestly, look at the list of 7 things. Do they not make sense? Doesn't it? It just makes total common sense that if you mastered these 7 areas, you would live with excellence just like master sales consultants do, right? And you would see and reap the benefits of being a master at what you do. So, do you want the benefits? Of course we do. Everybody says they want to be better, and you're proving it by being here with us in this 30-day challenge. So now, what are we going to do with these 7 things? So here's what we did. We provided for you a little graph down here. We call it a spider graph. I think when you fill it out, it kind of looks like a spider. But it's going to let you take these 7 areas. And you might want to start by taking a yellow pad. I always have a stack of yellow pads close to my desk because I use them for everything. I love to visualize by writing it, and that's something you could do. You might write key 1, key 2, key 3, key 4, key 5, and you might want to just kind of jot some notes about yourself, where you kind of stand on that, some things, how do you define those areas as I did in the video, and where you stand. And you can take the spider graph, download it, print it, and take this graph and diagram where you're at in these 7 keys. What will this diagram do for you? I'll tell you what it's going to do for you. It's going to help you visualize the areas of excellence, the things that you feel, hey, I'm pretty good in these areas. And the areas of opportunity. Hey, these are areas that I need to improve. And improving them is gonna has to improve my results, right? And so today you saw the 7 keys. I've been studying it for 35 years and it's true. And it makes sense, right? I don't even have to convince you it's true, because watching the video you have to say all these things make sense. If I was great in all 7 areas, my results would improve. True? It's common sense. Now that you've got them, what are you going to do with them? Let's sit down and think about them, and let's grade ourselves, and then you can begin to take action. Let's say you want to improve your sales skills, then you can go ahead and seek the training you need to improve your sales skills. How about if you say, I got to improve my product knowledge, I'm low on that. Now, easy. That's super easy to do. The manufacturers, they don't do a great job training you how to sell cars, but they do a great job building cars. And most of them have great certification programs on product knowledge, and it's at your fingertips all the time. So if you want to improve, then you got to make yourself, what am I gonna do to improve in these 7 areas, right? All right, well, I hope that you spend some time doing this, because listen, why come to the video and not take action? Why just listen and say this is great and not take the full benefit, which is the follow through? You know what? It's the vision, it's decision, and it's action all the time, is it not? So let's go ahead and do that.